Welcome to the Nothing or Triple Show, the movie podcast that knows when someone asks if you're a god, you say yes. I'm Ian.
And I'm Christian, and that was a quote from Ghostbusters, which is celebrating its 35th anniversary. And apparently there's some big surprise coming this weekend from Ghostbusters 3 director Jason Reitman. I'm hoping that it's official confirmation that the original cast is coming back, but we'll see. Anyway, if this is your first time to the Nothin or Triple Show, welcome. And if it's not your first time, welcome back. So what we do is Ian and I make a list of the biggest news items we think you should know about each week. We don't tell each other what's on our list, and then so that we can have sort of an element of surprise when we're reacting to each other. And then we set in a really annoying timer for 3 minutes to keep us shorter-winded.
Because we tend to run long.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're eating up precious time. Let's go.
The trailer for Ad Astra.
Damn it. That was my first story.
Oh, it's our first story.
All right.
Finally dropped. This was a movie that we teased at the beginning of the year. Did we put this in our off the radar list?
I can't, I don't know.
I think it was.
It was on one of our lists.
We have anticipated this movie for 6 months.
I've been anticipating it longer.
Well, at least publicly anticipated it for 6 months. This is the near future science fiction story, space story about an astronaut who goes to find his father who's lost in deep space. The astronaut is played by Brad Pitt. His father is Tommy Lee Jones. And we didn't know much about it. All we had was like a piece of a production image, but we finally got the first trailer. I think the trailer could have been a little bit better. I'm excited for this movie still. I think that my first thought was the visuals are cool. I would have liked to see the stills come out before they dropped the trailer because I think that would have made me more excited. I didn't think the trailer cut was very good to me. And I didn't.
It wasn't very good to you?
It wasn't good to me. It didn't make me feel wonderful. Also, I didn't expect Liv Tyler to be in this movie. For some reason, I didn't know she was cast in it.
Uh-huh.
And so I was instantly having flashbacks of Armageddon. I was having flashbacks of Armageddon.
Your synapses are misfiring.
Yeah, the other end of the world. I was like, that's not right. No, the classic asteroid destruction movie where we send miners.
You don't have to explain. Everybody
anyway,
knows what
so I was like, and so now Liv Tyler's in another movie. I wonder if she's getting typecast as the love interest left behind as you explore to save the world in outer space.
Okay, so a few things. One, I actually love the trailer.
Really?
It definitely looks more commercial than I was expecting, but that could just be the marketing.
Yeah.
Like the marketing team's trying to broaden the appeal. I don't think we know enough. So a key detail is that there's this big event that happens on Earth that knocks out all electricity or something. They call it the surge. And then the classified information they tell us is that Tommy Lee Jones' character had been sent to the edge of space to try to make contact with advanced forms of extraterrestrials. And he was experimenting with some dangerous thing. Oh, no, the beep. Okay, I'll just say this really quickly. What's interesting to me about Liv Tyler's character is that, yes, she's being positioned to be like the Brad Pitt's wife at home worrying about him. However, her character doesn't have a listing on IMDb. It's just blank. I am wondering whether there are aliens in our midst, that there are characters in the movie who might have more of a connection to Tommy Lee Jones than we realize.
And she may be one of them.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Okay, it beeped.
Your turn.
This one was just, I don't need 3 minutes to talk about this, but Disney picked up the rights to a Chris Van Allsburg book, The Garden of Abdul Ghazazi, which was one of my favorite books growing up. Chris Van Allsburg is the artist and author. Actually, I don't know if he illustrates his own stuff. But anyway, he's the author of Polar Express, Jumanji, Zathura, Garden of Abdul Ghazazi, and Garden of Abdul Ghazazi is my favorite. So it's about this kid who's dog sitting, and he takes the dog out for a walk, and he goes up to this massive property where the retired magician Abdul Ghazazi lives, and he has a sign that says absolutely no dogs or something like that. The dog gets loose, runs away. The kid goes to the house to try to explain what happened, and Ghazazi says, "I'm sorry, I've turned your dog into a duck." And so there's this whole element of what's really going on here. Abdul Ghazazi is this mysterious character. Is he actually a magician? Can he actually do magic? So of all of the Chris Van Allsburg books, this is the one that I was most excited for eventually becoming a movie or a TV series or something. Now, the one challenge is his books are so short that they don't lend themselves to feature length. So Polar Express was drawn out and not great. Neither of the Jumanjis have been good. I mean, they're not nearly as good as the book.
Speak for yourself.
No,
I love
yeah.
I love the first Jumanji. The second one's fun enough.
Yeah, they're okay. They're nothing like the book. Neither one. And then I think the one that was closest was probably Jon Favreau's Zathura, which in book form was a spinoff from Jumanji, but in movie form didn't share any connections. So anyway, I'm excited for that. We get to save an entire minute unless you have anything to say about it.
No, I mean, I'm a fan of his. Zathura could have been a better movie. I thought the movie, it was okay. It was fun.
I thought it was the closest to a Chris Van Allsburg book. Well, actually, I guess Polar Express for parts was closest because Robert Zemeckis did the whole photorealistic thing and made the shots look exactly like the art from the book. But
right.
Anyway, okay, what's next for you?
We also got a new trailer. There's been a lot of trailers the past week. A new trailer for the Ford v Ferrari movie.
Yeah.
This is the one that's directed by James Mangold, famous for Logan, Walk the Line. He also did the Wolverine.
Just Logan.
No, I thought he also did the standalone Wolverine movie.
Did he?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so.
Well, you can IMDb check me. But anyway, I thought it was a pretty awesome trailer. It covers it's a, I don't know if you can call it a biopic, but it's a historical movie.
Sorry, you're right. The Wolverine. I was thinking of X-Men Origins Wolverine.
No. I was talking about a better movie.
Okay.
So the 1966, there's another French name, Le Mans?
Lee Mans.
Lee Mans?
No.
I don't think that's how they say it.
It's Le Mans.
Le Mans. So this is a famous race in France, and in France. Oui. In 1966, Ford wanted to challenge Ferrari for their crown, essentially, and so they challenged Carroll Shelby, the famous Maverick car designer, to come up with a car that would beat Ferrari, and he tasks Ken Miles, the famous British race car driver, to do it, and so they've cast Matt Damon as Shelby and Christian Bale as Ken Miles. And it's an action-packed racing and a corporate thrill. What is this? It's a fun, American spirit car racing.
I think we need to get you some coffee.
It's a good movie. It's a cool trailer. I like the cars. So I'm excited for this movie. I wasn't excited for it on paper until I saw the trailer, but I thought it was well cut and it looked interesting to me.
Yeah, that also made my list this week. The acting looks great. I mean, who knows? James Mangold overproduces his movies, I think, generally. I didn't think Logan was very good. I didn't really like Walk the Line. I did love 3:10 to Yuma, the remake with Russell Crowe.
I love 3:10 to Yuma. I liked Walk the Line.
I liked it. I didn't love it.
Yeah, 3:10 to Yuma was really good. I should have listed that first when I was discussing James Mangold. But the larger public don't appreciate Westerns as much as they should. But 3:10 to Yuma, which is a remake, but it was still really, really good. All right, your turn.
Okay, so on the last episode, we mentioned this Twitter guy, Roger Wardell, who's not a real name, but he leaks Marvel news. And there's another big dump about that sounds awful.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, it stays regular. So he posted what is rumored to be Marvel's next Phase 4 slate of films, literally a decade's worth of plans. So I don't think the plans themselves are considered spoilers, right? So I'm just gonna talk. If you want to be surprised, I don't know why you would, because they're gonna announce the names of the movies, but. there's some interesting stuff on there. So we know Black Widow is being filmed. We talked about that last time. The Eternals, which is a cosmic movie. It's got Angelina Jolie. Keanu Reeves was just rumored for a role. I feel like a bunch of other people are in it. Black Panther 2, not surprising. Shang-Chi, which is a cool minor character, so it's awesome he's getting a feature.
Kung Fu superhero film.
Yeah. Doctor Strange 2, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, another Thor, another Captain Marvel.
Another Thor.
Yeah.
So that's good
Ant-Man,
news.
Yeah. And then the two that are kind of surprising, Nova, who should have been in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies at this point, but wasn't. And James Gunn said he doesn't plan to introduce any major new characters in the third volume because he wants to close out the story of the characters we already know. So I'm not sure how they'll bring Nova about. I guess it could be a cool character. But then, like, to me, the big news was that there is not just a plan, but an actual date in 2022, I think, for the movie The New Avengers. Like, that would be the title, which is cool. And there have been various forms of the New Avengers in the comic, but it's like exciting that they want to do another tentpole. Now, the thing that we had to wait and see about with the next phase is that the Russo brothers and then this guy Wardell also confirmed that they're not going to do the same sort of consequential storytelling that the entire first phase did, that they're going to have arcs within movies, and that they might not be linear. So I guess there could be movies set in the past or possibly an alternate timelines. I hope that's not the case because the best thing about the MCU is its continuity.
Yeah. I mean, we know that the Black Widow story is I guess it's a prequel, not distant past, but it is a previous time. And we still don't know how Loki is going to get utilized in his show. Like, which Loki is this? What timeline is he interfacing with? Let's hope it's all the main timeline.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear that there's an official Thor movie because while he was still...
None of this is official. I mean, it's all rumor until Marvel says so.
Right. Time's up.
We'll see. All right. What do you got?
There is reports of a Django Zorro team-up movie in development. Mm-hmm. Now, apparently there was a comic book. Just think about that for a second. A Django Zorro movie. First of all, it's a pretty far-fetched, outlandish thing because Zorro is more of a like Western superhero, and Django was a more dramatic, socially aware, slavery liberation kick-ass movie by Tarantino.
The Jamie Foxx version was. The Franco Nero version was not.
No, completely different.
That was more a not spaghetti Western, but sort of in that vein.
Yeah. But apparently there was a comic book that was written by Quentin Tarantino himself that featured this team up where it takes place some years after the events of the first movie, and Django settles near Chicago with his wife, and there's like a bounty on his head on the East Coast, so he stays clear of that, and he still goes around collecting bounties on the Western states and sends money home. And while doing that, runs into an older, weathered, but still can hold his own Zorro, and is fascinated by this character, and ends up teaming up with him to go liberate some indigenous people from some level of oppression. And I haven't read the comic, but I am definitely I didn't know it existed until I read this news that now Tarantino has teamed up with Gerard Carmichael, who's a comedian and actor and showrunner in his own right, and to produce this film. Now, we don't think that Tarantino's going to direct it because Tarantino's been very precious about what he directs in his final portfolio of what he says is his 10 films. But like the Star Trek work he's doing, it seems like this may be something he's producing.
Well, he said he wants to direct Star Trek.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, who knows? He says a lot of stuff. But
yeah. Anyway, I'm excited for this news. It kind of seems like stranger than fiction, but like I actually really like the idea of a Zorro movie.
It is fiction.
No, but the news just seems bizarre. But like, why not? Like, I'm down for it, especially if it has the same grit and gravity as the original Django. And my only request is that they don't recast Zorro, but use Antonio Banderas as the older, weathered Zorro.
They can't do that.
Why?
Because those were PG movies, like family-friendly movies, and Django is a hard R. You can't you can't, like, no, I don't, it's just.
They said the same thing about Wolverine, and they did Logan, that was R. And who knows what Tarantino's going to do with Star Trek, but I feel like the lines are becoming blurred between what's acceptable in mixed, audience content.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, Zorro is like other superhero or comic book characters where, or not unlike the old spaghetti westerns, like the old Blondie stories with Clint Eastwood, where these were all legends of a similar character, but there was not a concrete timeline between them. They were just additional legends of the same guy that weren't perfectly connected. And so if they were to cast Antonio Banderas, we could just say the other stories were legends of the same guy, but this is the real one.
Well, we also don't know whether it's actually going to be an older, weathered. I actually didn't realize that was the case in the comic books.
Yeah.
I have one of the comic books at home, and I never read it. I went through this period where I was buying comic books because I thought it was a good thing to support, but they just kept going to a box. So maybe I'll pull it out. But
yeah,
I'd actually be interested in seeing a younger version and having Edgar Ramirez play Zorro. Because
I haven't thought about younger actors.
Big break. He really. I would love to see him make it to the A-list. Not so long after saying he would never play this character again, Sylvester Stallone just released a trailer for Rambo 5: Last Blood. And it is a super violent trailer, which is cool, I guess. If that's like that, Rambo 4 was awesome, like a really good action movie. It totally loses the gravity of First Blood, which was about a Vietnam vet with PTSD. Rambo just became this, I don't know, two-dimensional action star. But anyway, the trailer has something to do with his past coming back to haunt him. Who knows what that means? Who cares? I think he has more dialogue in the voiceover for the trailer than he did in the last 4 movies combined. But I'll be there opening day.
Sounds good. I mean, yeah, he got passed up for he was nominated but didn't win the Oscar when he did Creed, Sylvester Stallone. And so we'll see if this is another performance that is Oscar-worthy or if it's just an old Stallone punch him up.
I mean, I will bet you $100 right now that it's not an Oscar-worthy, especially if it's anything like the last one. No, like the oh God, I'm blanking on the producer's name. They're not going for high art here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I was excited to see it. But, I mean, it does kind of make a fine point to call it Last Blood, that I'm not making another one after this.
Yes, except Sylvester Stallone always is not going to make any more movies until he makes more movies. Like that, it's always the last Rocky movie until the next one.
Right.
Maybe Rambo will die. That'll be a bit obvious.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
But like a couple years ago, they were going to reboot Rambo. First, Fox was going to do a TV series about it, and they wanted it to be about Rambo's son, and they wanted Stallone to have like a I don't know, recurring role as a mentor or whatever. And he said, nope, not doing it. I'm done with Rambo. Then they tried to get Rambo off the ground as a bonkers Rambo 5 is a bonkers sci-fi movie where Rambo is hunting some mutant in the woods, like that the military.
So it's Predator.
Yeah, basically. And I think at some point at a licensing show there was actually teaser posters for this, even though like the movie had financing behind it, even though they never really officially greenlit it. But then, like 2 years ago, Stallone very publicly said, "I'm done with the character. I'm too old. I'm not coming back to this." And so, I don't know. Somebody must have opened a briefcase full of money or something.
Yeah, well, we'll see. All right.
Look, we still have 3 minutes because you didn't start the timer.
Nope. All right.
Should I keep talking about Rambo?
No, we'll move on. We'll wrap it up. Yeah, that's the main stories that I think that we were most excited about. There was some little news like right after I teased that Pixar movie Onward that Christian doesn't care about, they dropped a trailer.
I still don't care about it. I watched the trailer.
Well, the trailer wasn't as good as I thought it would be. So I was like, oh, geez, maybe this is where Pixar starts to lose its way. So we'll see if a second trailer redeems itself. It was kind of kind of dumb. There was another trailer for the new Shaft movie that's coming out this month.
Oh, God, the marketing for that movie has been a mess. I saw a TV teaser where it said Samuel L. Jackson in the role that he was born to play, as though this is something new. It's literally a sequel to John Singleton's Shaft from, I think it came out 2000 with Christian Bale, which itself was a sequel to the original Shaft trilogy. Yeah. So the market is very odd.
The new trailer that just came out was a not safe for work trailer with all the appropriate F-bombs that you would expect from Sam Jackson.
Inappropriate.
Appropriate level of inappropriate language.
Yeah, it's a strange trailer. I mean, the movie looks funny, but
well, it was more entertaining to kind of pull the censored screen off of it and actually see it for some of what it's going to be. So it was a little bit more entertaining. So I'm more excited for it after this trailer. I hadn't paid attention to some of the TV marketing, though.
I mean, the movie comes out next week, so you don't have to wait long.
Yeah. And then the only other little thing is we were talking about Robert Pattinson being cast as Batman. Apparently that wasn't official until now. Yeah. And now, because I guess, what was the other guy that was up for it?
Nicholas Hoult.
Nicholas Hoult.
Beast from the crappy X-Men movies.
Right. And also famously from the Mad Max movie. Fury Road. But anyway, it's official. They gave it to Pattinson.
Yeah.
And it's also official that this is not another origin story. It's not going to be Batman Begins Again. It's a 30s Batman, not 1930s, but he's in his 30s. So it's not like Batman Year 1. It's like Batman Year 2. Light on his foot, Batman. Anyway, okay, that's the end of the story. What movie do you want to recommend to our audiences or audience member?
Are you going to recommend the one that we just watched?
I was gonna.
Okay, you can have that one. I will recommend. Oh, what the hell? I mean, it's always great to go back to Ghostbusters. I would like to watch Ghostbusters this week.
In solidarity with the 35th anniversary.
I watched Spaceballs last night and remember how much I miss Rick Moranis acting. So
yeah, where's he at?
His wife died years ago, and he left acting to take care of his family.
Do you think he'll ever come back?
He says he won't, but maybe that will be the big announcement. All right. Wrap it up.
All right. So the movie that I'd like to recommend is a movie that Christian and I actually watched together, which was called See You Yesterday. It's a Netflix indie film about two kids who invent time travel and try to save a loved one, and shenanigans ensue.
That's an awfully light way of talking about a social justice issue.
It's a really good movie. Yeah, it deals with police brutality and growing up in the inner city in New York and
the Bronx.
It's a great movie. It had good reviews, so I was expecting it to be good, but the acting, the directing, the writing, the heart, the character development, the little cameo surprise we get in the first act, that alone is worth giving it a look. If you like indie sci-fi films, if you like kind of new talent, I'm really excited to see where these filmmakers go. It was directed by Stefan Bristol, who I guess came up under Spike Lee, and Spike Lee may have had some help on this film, but there's even the famous Spike Lee shot where they're like on the
it's just
track.
An homage, yeah.
Homage, but it's a great, good movie.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. Watch it now.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening all the way to the end. If you're still here, please give us a subscribe and a like and tell all your friends about it. NothinOrTriple.com, Nothin or Triple on all the social media. Nothin or Triple on your favorite podcast stores is where you can find us and tell your friends to find us. And until next week.
Goodbye.
See you later.